Welcome again, everybody, to BrooklynBaritone.com. I am Corey Ashley, coming to you over the airways, over the internet, on my BrooklynBaritone.com site, or my YouTube site, or my Vimeo site. I'm giving you another tidbit, of course, of hopefully ways to help you improve yourself, or hopefully of self-realization, and to improve things around you. And these things that I talk about are things that I go through myself as well. I would like to share something about fear, F-E-A-R. My last segment that I posted up, I did make a little mention about fear. Fear is the destroyer of things. Fear holds you back. Fear makes you react in ways you normally would not react. Having a little bit of fear, a little anxiety in your heart at certain times, I can understand that. We shouldn't really have that, really. But there's so much factors in this world, within ourselves and around us, that'll cause us to go through those certain things. But fear will allow you to compromise what you normally do, and to compromise even what's right and what's truthful. Now, looking at fear, how it destroys things, I'm not talking about like a fight or flight tactic, because we're not supposed to be in a fight or flight environment all the time, or on a consistent basis, or a lot of times. That means something is definitely wrong. And I can tell you things are definitely wrong today, because of people who are very fearful of many things. They would rather compromise a much better valued way of life and a way of thinking, of existing. They will compromise all of that because of fear. They want to be complacent and take the quote-unquote safe route to to avoid any kind of confrontations, to avoid any kind of disruptions to what they're going through, to avoid any kind of attention being brought to them, to avoid being a target in any way, shape, or form, all right, or to be labeled something negative in the eyes of other people. We really should not have fear, because we really aren't programmed to have it in us as a way to operate on a regular basis. Because when you do, like I just mentioned earlier, so much things fall short of what you should be doing for yourself and others around you, in your situation and other people's situation around you as well. It destroys many things that you could accomplish in your own life. Whether it could be to get your driver's license, because you're so fearful, you're not going to get ahead and pass the test. You're not even going to get ahead and even attempt to even take the test or get the permit that you want. You're fearful, you're probably never going to get that house that you want. You may not get the job or career that you want. Your family may not grow and blossom the way that it should, the way you really want it to. You're not going to grow and blossom the way that you need to. So everything else that you do and put forth out there is not going to be to its fullest capacity. We may luck out and have people who may help us out or be in a situation where it works out for us, but that doesn't happen all the time. It's not going to happen all the time. It definitely does not happen with or for everybody. Fear is a destroyer, because it does destroy. It destroys truth, because people will compromise truth for fear, because of fear. Fear destroys integrity. It destroys relationships. It destroys so much things. Fearful. It destroys you. And people have fear in their hearts because they don't want to let that person go they have a relationship with. They're scared. They don't want to live without them. I don't want to see them with anybody else. So, oh, come on. There's a lot of things that fear just ruins us with. Okay, you could probably be a brave person where there could be a fight outside, it could be a fire or whatever. You spring into action to help somebody out, or do what you need to do. But you could have fear in another part of your life. All right, so you could be strong, stoic when it comes to certain aspects, but other things you kind of fall short of. You cheat yourself out of. It's a hard thing to try not be fearful at times, because that requires a great deal of strength, because you could feel the anxiety building up. You could feel the tenseness. You could feel the want to probably just turn the other way. But it's that strength that can get you through. It's that strength that could get you through, to the strength to not just have to react and spring into action with a lot of tenseness or whatever, but you could react with being calm as well. Just, have that strength to hunker down, to chill, take your breaths, focus, and then get through it. We can't allow fear to guide our words and how we react to others. It's one thing to be decent. It's one thing to be decent and, okay, out of respect for others or something going on, I'll have respect and I'll be reserved. Being reserved and fearful are two different things. Because what fear does, it causes a reaction in you where you feel like you have to get into some kind of self-preservation mode. And especially if you are being driven by the moment for that emotion, we also know that emotions, and if emotions get too far away with us and we make certain decisions, those are things that we can regret later on down the road. It's a definite given thing that if you say something when you're angry, do something when you're angry, you can regret it later on. Or if, again, as I said, with a relationship, you're fearful of someone leaving you, you're doing things that you're not regularly going to do. Things that you know that on a regular day, when the situation is very good for you, when you're not fearful, we're actually confident, you're going to do the complete opposite of you being fearful. You do the complete opposite of doing that. I know, because I had a lot of fear in the past of not doing something for people to not like me. It's possible that could have been self-esteem issue with certain things, because I didn't have realization of myself. So I usually took it to real heart when people didn't approve of me or like me. Now I still feel a way off of it, but it's not the same then, because sometimes I have to take a step back, maybe something that I'm doing, but you also have to have a good enough wise approach to gauge the situation and gauge yourself, gauge your weight, to see if it actually is you, or whatever problem that someone is having with you or around you. It's possible it's just that person that's a problem, and that is what it is. A lot of us don't know how to separate that, how to define that properly. And I was talking in my last segment about integrity. It does compromise integrity as well, because it breaks you down. What fear does is breaks you down, and it keeps you away from being strong. Okay, fear can probably be used as a good thing, but you got to know how to manage it. But that's something fear is something that's negative. It's negative, and you put off negative vibes to other people around. Just like when you have a nasty attitude, just like when you curse a lot, just like if you are just angry, or if you know someone who lies all the time. Those are negative things. You put that energy out to people. Fear is definitely something that could spread to people. Okay, it could cause mass hysteria, and it doesn't have to start from a grand source. It could just start from anywhere, from anybody at any time. Okay? Well, usually fear is supposed to come around when there's danger. It's usually supposed to come around when there's danger. So the fact that people are fearful with a lot of things they do in life, that doesn't really qualify as danger. It may qualify for an experience that you may wish to not be in, but you have to learn how to control yourself and not be fearful. Now, you could probably understand the risks of doing certain things, and sometimes there are no risks because you don't have that confidence in yourself to go forward. Okay? You could also be someone who's just trying to be wise and wait certain things out. I could understand that. But fear is something unpleasant. It's an emotion. It's an emotion. It's something unpleasant that something triggers in you. The thing is, you, just like with anything negative in your life, you're going to have to know how to recognize it. You're going to have to know how to control or manage it for your benefit. Not for your benefit because you're just doing what you need to do to get by. Because that's what fear does when we incorporate that into our lives. When we're around family members, we're at work or whatever, we're fearful of saying what needs to be said or doing what needs to be done because we don't want any kind of retaliation against us in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to be ostracized. I don't want to be targeted. So I'm just going to go with the flow. All right? Yeah, remember the flow, the masses, the people have been proven to be wrong plenty of times. All right? So you have to get out that mindset and be strong, not be fearful of not going with the flow. Because sometimes you're going to have to be that rock to be solid and not go where everybody else is going. It's going to have to go around you. All right? Sometimes you're going to have to move the other way, and it's hard when everyone else is going one way. Sometimes you're like, you know what? I got to go this way. Sorry. I can't be fearful. A lot of people are fearful, and they don't even know it. And that's a very horrible thing. That's a horrible thing. That's an alarming realization that a lot of people don't even know that they are fearful. Because they could, behind closed doors, say how much things are wrong. I wish this was different. It shouldn't be like that. But when they're in the public eye or in the company of others, they don't say what they really feel. Now, I'm not saying to get ahead and be rude and just always speak your mind because it's like in the Dave Chappelle show, keeping it real goes wrong. You got to be wise. You can't just go ahead and run your mouth and fly your mouth and do whatever you want when you feel like it. You got to be wise too. That's another thing you got to incorporate. All right, but you can't be fearful. You're going to have to know when to keep it real. And you're going to have to be about it all the time. That's how you build your characters. You can have weight with you. Because you allow fear to guide you, you're not going to really grow the way you need to, and you're not going to grow other people. And that really is our responsibility. Our responsibility is to create, is to grow, is to share people, okay? Uplift not just yourself, but things around you, situations around you, and most of all, people around you. And you can't do that if you're being fearful. You are a detriment to yourself and society when you are fearful. And then when we have a culture or structure where they invoke fear in people, well, you know damn well that's wrong. So you have to be upstanding even more. We are in a culture where we are fearful of saying the wrong thing. I don't want to say the wrong thing and offend anybody. I don't want anybody targeting me. So what you gonna do then? You gonna follow the masses? Right? Nah, I don't follow the masses. Yeah, you do follow the masses. You have to know what you are, who you are as an individual. You got to understand what your standards are, man. You cannot be fearful, right? Because you do that and then you become complacent, that's going to be you. That's going to be your life. You could probably talk a mean one. You could probably talk a good one. But when it comes to time to walk the walk, you curl up in the fetal position. You're not even walking. You know, and don't just do it just so people could recognize you for, they were always truthful. Do it for yourself. Do it because you know it's going to improve you and other things and people around you. This is why you do it. And there's so much other doors that opens up when you refuse to be fearful. Once you get past it, Once you get past it, you're going to look at it like, you know what? Wow. I can't believe I was held back by that. Or like, wow, I can't believe that was a problem for me. Or you may just go forward so much you don't even notice that it was a problem anymore. All these doors that are waiting for you to go through, you're standing back, pretty much cowering in the corner or waiting for somebody else to go through the door so then you could probably go ahead and run through. Granted, sometimes some of us just needs that one person or one event to make it happen for us. But why put it off when you could be that person? Don't wait around. What if that person never comes around? What if everyone is exactly like you and they're scared to death? Because they don't want to make any waves, so I'll just sit back and chill and coast. I go in cruise control in life. You see, when you're trying to move forward and better yourself, and you're trying to do it the right way, you're going to come across opposition because this world is not perfect. People have their own realities that they have made. They have their own ways of thinking what is true and what is right. And as soon as you come across and challenge that in any way, shape, or form, it's going to be a rocky road for you. But you know what? It's okay. I climb over those rocks, and I keep climbing over those rocks. It's going to make me stronger. It's going to be hard as hell. It'd be a nice smooth road like everybody else's. Play the game. But I'm gonna be rugged. I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna understand the terrain a lot more than people who had it easy for them or wanted to take the easy road. Don't be fearful, because that's not who you are. Don't be fearful, because there's plenty of people out there around you right now that are already doing a great job being fearful. So you don't need to do that anymore. The vacancies for being fearful is filled to capacity. What's lacking now are people to exert real strength, to not allow fear to guide them, to not allow fear to tell them what to do, or to guide them to what to do. Take fear and kick it to the curb. Leave it for all other people who have not realized themselves yet, realize what truth really is yet. It may not be their time yet. Or their time may be experiencing people like you when you decide to not be fearful. They will remember you for that. And after years and years come, they're going to forget about probably the fearful times, and they're going to remember, yeah, this person, they actually stuck up. I'm going to remember them for being the one to actually be the one to stand up and do what needed to be done the way it should be done. That's what they'll remember you for. Most people, the people who choose to be full of iniquity and fear, they already have their own bed they're laying in. They have their own realities they're living in, their own wonderland. You don't want wonderland, you want reality. And this is what we talk about all the time on BrooklynBaritone.com. Always remember to check out my YouTube site and my Vimeo site, and come to my own site as well. This is Corey Ashley. I am signing off right now.